Hello, hello, beautiful one. It's Omaji. And what if it's actually time for you to remember the next level of your inner strength? And without having to create a story around what that even means, what if you could just invite the activation of the next level of your inner strength, your tenacity, your ingenuity, and this strength that we're speaking to is coming from the knowing of who you are in truth. You've never been separate, not really, from infinite divine source. And your access to this is your birthright. It's part of what you are. And so you can invite, if you're willing, this infinite source that flows through you to activate more of your inner strength if you choose. You could also choose a different quality that you're deeply desiring to experience more of. Perhaps it's safety, support, synchronicity, divine perfection, love, security, empowerment. So, whatever that is for you, you're invited to stand in this choice point of power that is your birthright, to invite the activation within you of the very qualities you're wishing to experience yourself as. Because in truth, it isn't separate from you. And it's not in some external accomplishment or future endeavor or others seeing you a certain way or this or that circumstance working out the way we think it needs to for us to have the very things we deeply desire. Because it's not about the outer things. It's about what we think those things are going to give us. Is it a sense of peace? Is it a sense of recognition of our worth? Is it safety? Is it feeling like I can relax, like I can know that everything's being taken care of, that I'm supported? And so, whatever that quality is that we're attempting to get out here isn't really out there. And for many eons, we've used that as our way to evolve and to cultivate that quality within ourselves. Because from the perspective that we're separate from source, which isn't true, but it's a choice to perceive that and to choose from that place, everything appears to be outside of you. Everything appears to be in someone else's or something else's hands, not your own. And the absolute truth is that's never been true. We've had that experience of ourselves, and it's been a learning in third dimensional consciousness and separation consciousness. And in this auspicious time of graduation from those ways of being, those ways of growing and evolving, we're actually now being invited to simply choose, because we're at a level of consciousness where we recognize what's actually going on. It's not really outside of me. That's the perception based on the beliefs and the ways of being I've been conditioned in and functioning from. But that doesn't make it true. Don't judge by appearances. So you can bring all of your energy and awareness back into your light, into your beam emanating from source. And you can simply choose from the recognition of what you really are to activate those qualities that you think those external things are going to give you, because they're not really in those things. They're in your light. You've always had access to all of it directly. There's no separation from the very things you deeply desire. So whether it's love or appreciation or recognition or support or safety or courage or strength or peace or remembering the truth of you as fully loved unconditionally by Source itself, by God itself, by love itself. Are you willing to bring all your reference points for all of that off of everything outside of you? Because that's not where it lives. We know it looks that way. And that's why perception is so interesting. And you no longer have to believe it. You no longer have to believe the appearances. You can claim all your power back from that way of being. Choose to retire it if you choose, in collaboration with your higher self. And simply bring all those reference points for all of those qualities you're wishing to experience and have and be and emanate, so that they reflect in your world as experiences of you. Bring all those reference points for all of those desires off of everyone and everything, and all attachment off of everyone and everything, trying to make it be that for you, because it can't be that for you, but you can be that for you. And then the reflection will occur according to the degree with which you activate it within yourself. So it's really this remembering that we've kind of been taught backwards with regard to how to be and how to choose. And this is part of the graduation into this higher unity consciousness. Is it's not separate, it's not out here, it's within me, and I have the choice to activate more of whatever it is that I wish to invite more of, because it's all about my relationship with me. And if there are programs in the way of I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve, or I have to prove, or I have to earn, or I have to get, or it's something that is beyond my reach, then that's what you'll experience until you choose to retire those beliefs. And in some cases, ways you're identifying as the one who works hard or the one who earns their worth. The truth of you is you've never been required to earn your worth. You were created as this perfect emanation of divine love itself. There's nothing about you that needs fixed or changed. So as you're willing, you can begin to retire these beliefs, these ways of identifying. And it's really a partnership with the part of you that knows, your I am presence, your higher self, where you give it permission to correct within your energetic fields, within your mind, if you will, your unconscious and conscious mind, any ways that you're currently identifying as separate from source, or not worthy, or not loved, or having to prove your worth, so that you can begin to experience yourself as the one who's always been worthy, who's always been loved, who's always supported infinitely, because you're no longer holding yourself in an identification apart from that. Whatever you choose to identify as is what you'll experience yourself as on a conscious and unconscious level. So it's not just about our conscious thoughts, it's about also correcting our energetic system, we call it mind, unconscious, to be in alignment with what we're choosing on a conscious level. You can think of it as though we've been hypnotized to perceive ourselves as these other things, as separate, as unworthy, as alone, as afraid, as not supported. And we're now in the process of unhypnotizing ourselves. And we do that in collaboration with the part of us that never has been hypnotized, that's always been in the recognition and the realization of truth and has never left that identification as one with an infinite source, as God created it. not as a distortion of that. And we're not saying you're a distortion. We're pointing to the fact that for many lifetimes and experiences, we've been our experience of ourselves has been a distortion of truth. We've never been a distortion. That's the lie. So are you willing to release and uncreate all of those beliefs and alignments and agreements with anywhere where you've decided you're not worthy, you're a sinner, you're not good enough, it's like, I'm just being shown a lot of shame. And what if a lot of that isn't even yours? It was taught and it was inherited. So are you willing to release all of that, return to center with love and consciousness? And allow yourself to begin to collaborate more with your higher self to begin choosing in the direction of what you choose. And in this new moon energy, it's the perfect time to begin choosing anew, and a new relationship with you, a new relationship with how you perceive yourself and what's actually available to you, because truly you have access to infinite in every moment. And you're invited to remember. And this is from a place of oneness. So it's not about having more than anybody else. That's ego. It's about recognizing that not only do you have access to infinite, all beings have access to infinite. There is overflowing abundance, more than enough. And that's what we're calling forth in the new earth. So as you're willing, you can invite it. You can invite this renewed relationship with you. And it's really about your intention, your choice. No one can choose it for you but you. And it is our honor to support you in this recognition and this alignment with who you truly be, so that it can become your experience and that you can become a way shower for the rest of life to remember their connection to infinite source, their connection to infinite resources, and the truth of infinite worth for all life, reverence for all life, and the ways of being and functioning from unity consciousness that allow us to begin to welcome experiences of ourself and humanity as one with an infinite source instead of separate. So this is the changeover that's occurring right now. And there's no rush. There's no race to get there. But this is a way of remembering that we do have choice and that those choices are very powerful. Because if we're not choosing in favor of the new, of the, we'll say, aligned way of seeing ourselves, that's aligned with truth, then we're choosing from the old default, what's familiar, and those patterns just continue to run. And learning is still taking place within that framework. But maybe it's time that you recognize that your learning in the separation paradigms is complete. And it's time to begin a brand new experience of yourself and your life and what's possible for you. So thank you for your willingness to be in these frequencies that are calling you into a greater expression and that really provide the energetic environment and the attunement to what the words we're speaking is pointing to, which is you remembering the true you that is fully loved, supported, and embraced by the divine in every moment, without question, without hesitation. You are uncompromisingly loved, just as you are. And may you remember this to the degree with which you choose, in an empowered, grace and ease-filled way. If you found this transmission supportive for you, we have other transmissions that we have on our YouTube channel at Omaji and Daria, and also on our website at embracingtheinfinite.com. We encourage you to choose in favor of your light, and we are here to support you as it resonates. Much love to each of you. Namaste.